Kristina Tahel Amelong. Every week in our weekly service at One Love, One Communion, Many Paths, One Mountain, I have the honor and opportunity to study the first principles of reality as they have been articulated by Dr. Marc Gafni and Barbara Marx Hubbard. Those two have worked together for over 100 collective years to articulate the story of the new human and the new humanity based on these first principles. The first principles constitute what they have called a universal grammar of meaning, or the new story, or a global ethos for a global civilization. Every week, guided by grace, Dr. Marc articulates the principles in precise formulations, and every week I recapitulate pivotal sections of the first principles in direct quotes from the prior week's articulation of Many Paths, One Mountain. I spend hours picking the exact string of direct quotes from their articulation and weaving them together, a string of sentences that I hope will activate in you a heart inflamed and committed to changing the world with outrageous love. Here goes the recapitulation. Beyond the grim era of demonization, the possible shared story of the 146 million, 75 million Biden, 71 million Trump, called by the same angels. Clearly, from a political, spiritual, emotional, psychological, historical perspective at this time, poised between utopia and dystopia, the recent elections are a moment of enormous significance. What is the shared story that brings us together? What is the shared story that brings together the 74 million people who voted for Joe Biden, which is the single largest voter turnout for any single candidate ever? And what unites those people with the 70 million people who voted for Donald Trump, which is the second largest voter turnout? As Joe Biden said in his speech, it's time to end the grim era of demonization. How do we do that, both within the Democratic and Republican side in America, and how do we do that around the world? This is a moment of healing, and healing is eros. Eros means becoming whole. Eros is not a word. Eros means something very specific. The experience of radical aliveness, desiring ever deeper intimacy and ever greater wholeness. This is a moment for coming together. This is a moment of eros. When Kamala introduced Joe Biden, the first thing she said about him was, he is a healer. What does a healer mean? Healing means to make whole, to include everyone. No one is excluded. No one is outside of the circle. The demonization ends, but it is not that the demonization ends for only these people, but not those people. All demonization ends. We are called by the same angels. We get to love America. We get to love American men. We get to love Trump. This doesn't mean that we don't take stands. To end demonization is not to become flaccid instead of fierce. We are fierce and tender at the same time. We do take stands. We take fierce stands for goodness, truth, and beauty and integrity. Great humans, great countries, great communities transform pain into art. the art of the evolution of consciousness and culture into a new story, a tapestry so beautiful and brilliant that the world gasps in awe from the stunning depths of our shocking self-recognition.